Welcome to Ignite Visibility's Franchise Lead Qualification Playbook. Over the next few minutes, we're going to address one of the more expensive habits in franchise development, interrogating strangers on a web form and calling it a sales process. If your inquiry form currently requests mother's maiden name and a personal essay on what joining the brand means to them, stay with us. This is a safe space. Let's begin with the mega form. Somewhere right now, an investor with $250,000 in liquid capital just landed on a franchise inquiry page, counted 27 required fields, and made a quiet, dignified exit. The data on this is unambiguous. Every field you add costs you roughly 10% of your conversions, and about 2/3 of people abandon forms with more than 7 fields. That form isn't vetting your leads, it's declining them on your behalf. Here's the thing. Lead qualification is dating. You don't start out with 3 kids, a mortgage, and a dog. You start with dinner and a movie. That's your initial inquiry form. And over time, you build up to the kids, the mortgage, and the dog. And remember, prospects are judging and evaluating too. They're deciding whether they want to move forward with your opportunity. Ask too much too early before you've shown your value, and they'll ghost you, leaving your pipeline high and dry. What you want is calibrated friction, enough to filter out the people who don't and never will qualify, but not so much so soon that you send the right ones running before you've gotten to know each other. So here's the fix: progressive qualification, a phased approach. On the first form, capture only high-level intent. The detailed financial and operational vetting gets pushed into later steps: booking flows, phone screens, webinars, nurture campaigns. 4 phases: the lead form, the booking flow, your marketing funnels, and finally, the intro call. Each phase earns you the right to ask the next round of questions. That's not a limitation. That's how every relationship you've ever admired actually worked. The initial inquiry form has exactly one job: tell you whether this lead is marketing qualified. That means 3 things: valid contact data, an available territory, and self-reported financial capability. A multiple-choice liquid capital bracket, not a subpoena. Name, email, phone, zip, capital bracket. 5 fields. Everything else, their background, their experience, whether they're a cultural fit, their 5-year vision, that's the meet the parents stage, and you're not there yet. Now, an important note on the leads who self-report they are not financially capable. The reflex is to kill them. Resist the reflex. Not financially capable often just means hasn't thought about it properly yet. Before you mark that lead dead, qualify them further. A short SMS sequence works nicely. Do they have a business partner? Do they have retirement funds they could roll over? You can even build a funnel that routes these leads directly to a funding partner and let the professionals do the math. If the lead comes back qualified, your sales team re-engages. The only thing cheaper than a new lead is one you already paid for and almost threw away. For the leads who do qualify, here's the courtship: minimalist form, automated scheduling, screening questions, a 15-minute intro call. Then the real gates: a completed franchise application, and for some brands, an opportunity overview webinar or call. Only then does the FDD go out. RFC back, discovery scheduled, and their sales qualified. Marketing owns the left half of the funnel, sales owns the right. And with franchise leads averaging $351 each, every one that bounces off your form is money you spent to not have a conversation. So, 4 tactics that deepen qualification without consuming your sales team. Tactic 1: automated self-scheduling. The moment a lead submits the form, send them to a booking tool, Calendly or an AI scheduler, and let them book their own call while the enthusiasm is fresh. Contact within 5 minutes makes you roughly 21 times more likely to qualify a lead than waiting half an hour. Your team can't do that at 9 p.m. on a Saturday. A booking page can, and it never asks for PTO. Tactic 2: screening questions at booking. When the lead selects a time, require a brief questionnaire before the appointment confirms. Net worth range or liquidity, whatever you didn't ask on the inquiry form, timeline, business background. All the questions you removed from the lead form now live here, answered by someone who's already committed to a meeting and is therefore inclined to finish the paperwork. This is the second date. They said yes to dinner again, so it's acceptable to ask about siblings. The prospect does the data entry. Your CRM fills itself. Your closer walks in pre-briefed. Additional sales hours required? 0. Tactic 3. The webinar funnel. A recurring or evergreen franchise opportunity webinar or a virtual discovery day. Registration questions collect profile data, and attendance is its own intent signal. Nobody accidentally watches 45 minutes on unit economics. One presenter screens hundreds of prospects at once. Hot attendees route straight into the booking flow, and once it's recorded, it qualifies leads indefinitely without being paid a commission. Tactic 4. Progressive profiling in your nurture. Your 60-day email and SMS campaign shouldn't just broadcast. It should collect. Behavior-triggered messages with one-click micro-asks. What's your timeline? Have you operated a business? Do you have a partner? Each answer sharpens the profile before sales ever dials. Teams doing this see about 35% better qualification rates than the ones still proposing marriage in the first message. And if bandwidth is genuinely tight, don't run every lead down the same hallway. Use the answers on the initial form to branch. Qualified leads go one direction, not yet qualified leads another. And segment your multi-unit and multi-brand operators, the MUMBOs, from everyone else. A MUMBO who already owns 3 brands does not need a drip campaign explaining what a franchise is. They've been married before. Skip the small talk. Send them straight to your Chief Development Officer with a calendar link. Everyone else routes to a call qualifier or an SMS sequence, each path asking the additional questions relevant to that persona. Same funnel, different doors. Which brings us to the intro call. 15 minutes, 1 human, 2 jobs. Job 1, reconfirm the marketing qualification. Territory still available, contact info real, capital position what they said it was. People occasionally round up. Job 2, add a few qualifying questions that build out the profile. What's your timeline to invest? What other franchise brands do you own? How many units do you plan to open? That's it. You're not conducting a deposition. You're confirming the data and deepening it. Pass the call and the next gate's open. The franchise application, then, where required, an opportunity overview webinar, then the FDD. Because the FDD is the proposal, not the pickup line. Hand it to everyone and it means nothing. Not ready? Back to nurture. No hard feelings. So, the playbook. 5 fields on the form. Automated scheduling with screening questions. A webinar that qualifies while you sleep. Progressive profiling that builds the dossier one click at a time. Persona-based paths so your CDO only talks to people worth talking to. And a rescue lane for the not financially capable, leads who just haven't met the right funding partner yet. Start with dinner and a movie. The 3 kids, the mortgage, and the dog. Or in your case, the FDD and the multi-unit development agreement will come. And if you'd rather have a partner who builds franchise development programs that produce qualified candidates instead of form fills, that is, conveniently, what we do. IgniteVisibility.com. Let's grow some brands together.